Damn it.
Please rise. We now call the Wheeling City Council meeting of September 2, 2025 to order. We'll ask the clerk please to call the roll.
Mr. Asaro?
Here.
Ms. Kane? Mayor Magruder?
Here.
Mr. Palmer?
Here.
Mr. Seidler?
Here.
Mr. Sklavanakis?
Here.
And Mr. Thorngate?
Here.
Quorum is present.
Thank you. We have the minutes from August 19, 2025. Is there a motion to accept those as submitted?
So moved.
Second. Any changes, discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, those minutes are approved. Next on the agenda, we have the mayor's report, and this evening we have a proclamation. Whereas September 17, 2025 marks the 238th anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention. And whereas it is fitting and proper to accord official recognition to this magnificent document and its memorable anniversary, and to the patriotic celebrations which will commemorate this occasion. And whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America designating September 17 through 23 as Constitution Week. Now, therefore, I, Denny Magruder, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Wheeling in the state of West Virginia, do hereby proclaim the week of September 17 through 23 as Constitution Week. And we urge all citizens to fly United States flags at their businesses and homes, study the Constitution, and reflect on the privilege of being an American with all the rights and responsibilities which that privilege involves. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the city to be affixed on the second day of September of the year of our Lord, 2025. And with that, I would ask Lisa McNeil and Janice Swain, please, to join us as we present, and the council, please, to step forward for a couple photos. Okay, we'll now continue the mayor's report. I just have a couple of things that I wanted to bring up. I want to remind folks that on this Sunday, September 7, at Mount Wood Cemetery, the Friends of Wheeling are sponsoring a Mount Wood Cemetery tour. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever experienced the tours that they've had at Greenwood. They're absolutely phenomenal. This is the first time I think they've ever done one at Mount Wood. And so it's great. It's Sunday, September 7. The tours are continuous between the hours of 1 and 5. First tour starts at 1. Last tour leaves at 4. The other thing I would say to you, There is no parking at the cemetery itself. So we're asking people to please park in the city's Lot 6, and that's on Market Street between 10 and 11, right across from Market Plaza. So if you park there, shuttles will take you up to the cemetery and back. So for those that love history, this is a great opportunity. The other thing is, I want to remind folks that September 11th is coming up, and the annual September 11th ceremony will be held at noon on September 11th at Heritage Port. I want to say thank you to our safety forces. They're a huge part of this celebration. And so at noon on September 11th, Vice Mayor Sklavonakis will be there helping out Rabbi Joshua Leaf and our team. So thank you, but there's two great events. That's all I really have this evening, so I'll go to the clerk's report.
There is a notice of application to operate a private club, Jaegers Hoagie King LLC, located at 3900 Jacob Street. And that concludes clerk's report. An ordinance authorizing the city manager to expend funds in the amount of $22,500 with James White Construction Company of Weirton, West Virginia for valve replacement at Grandview Station to be charged to water.
I'll move to adopt the ordinance.
A second.
Is there any discussion? If not, please record your votes. That motion is approved.
An ordinance authorizing the city manager to expend funds in the amount of $27,000 with Centrus of Kenosha, Wisconsin for purchase of rental services for centrifuge to be charged to water pollution control.
Move for adoption of the ordinance.
A second.
Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, I ask you to please record your vote. That motion is approved.
An ordinance authorizing the city manager to expend funds in the amount of $27,504.85 with Jim Shorkey Auto Group of Irwin, Pennsylvania for a 2026 Trailblazer LS for crisis response unit to be charged to West Virginia First Foundation grant.
Move for adoption of the ordinance.
Second.
Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, I ask you again to please record your votes. Motion approved.
An ordinance authorizing the city manager to expend funds in the amount of $22,506.02 with Colossus Inc. of Chicago, Illinois for the purchase of Caliber mobile software annual subscription to be charged to the police department.
Move to adopt the ordinance.
I'll second.
Do we have any discussion? Again, hearing none, I ask you to please record your vote. Motion approved.
An ordinance of the Council of the City of Wheeling vacating and abandoning that portion of the alley designated on the map of Elmwood lying between lots 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and the southwesterly one half of lot 9 on the plat of Elmwood and a 7.108 acre tract, and authorizing the city manager to execute such quitclaim deeds to implement this abandonment.
I move to adopt the ordinance.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Just a quick question for the city manager. So this is the alley that runs behind the house, and now the homeowner will take full responsibility for any upkeep or.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? If not, please record your vote. Motion approved.
An ordinance authorizing the city manager to expend funds in the amount of $284,871 with Jim Shorkey Auto Group of Irwin, Pennsylvania for 7 police vehicles to be charged to the police department.
I'd move to adopt the ordinance.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, I would like to know how many police vehicles do we have?
Well, let me make a real quick comment on that. Several years ago, City Council made a significant investment in the police department vehicle area in instituting a take-home cruiser program. It has been very, very successful. I believe all of our certified officers that are non-probationary now have a vehicle. But part of that investment was to make sure that we maintained the annual replacement of vehicles to replace vehicles, obviously, that had timed out to keep that program going and to not have to go through a significant investment of acquiring 20 or 30 cars like we did to begin with. So this is the annual allocation of police vehicles. It was included in the budget, it was approved by City Council back in March. But it is a little bit higher than normal because there are 3 canine units in this acquisition, which was a request of council at the time. So there are 4 cruisers and 3 canine units included in this acquisition, proposed acquisition. And as far as the number of cruisers, I don't know if the chief knows that off the top of his head, but I'll give him a chance.
70 to 75. Motorcycles.
Well, we feel like 500 will be a number.
Well, it's a little bit higher this year because of the canine units. Yeah. So no, it will not be that high.
Any further questions? If not, I'd ask you to please record your votes. Motion approved.
An ordinance authorizing the city manager to expend funds in the amount of $133,006.55 with Bearcom of Dallas, Texas for equipment to outfit police vehicles to be charged to the police department.
I'll move to adopt the ordinance.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? Again, hearing none, please record your votes. Motion approved.
An ordinance authorizing the city manager to expend funds in the amount of $33,350.01 with Motorola Solutions of Coriopolis, Pennsylvania for the purchase of police cruiser radios to be charged to the police department.
A second.
Is there any discussion? Please record your votes. That motion is approved.
An ordinance authorizing the city manager to expend funds in the amount of $38,506 with Northside Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram of Somersville, West Virginia for a 2024 Dodge Durango to be charged to assigned police department. Assigned vehicle.
Move for adoption of the ordinance.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Once again, hearing none, I ask you to record your vote. The motion's approved.
That concludes unfinished business.
Thank you very much. We're now down to remarks from members of council. I'm going to ask Councilor Acero, please, to begin tonight.
In Warwood, we have Toe Tap Tuesday. It's tonight at 7 p.m. The band Twice as Nice will be playing.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I just have a couple of questions for updates on things, and then I have one update as well. So I'll start with my update. Last council meeting, I asked for a little bit of information from our legal department about the process for our code inspection team to, if they were called out about a complaint about a rental property. It's part of our policy today that we don't always just go into those places. I had to get a little bit more clarification on that, which is great. Thank you to the Madam Solicitor. The City of Wheeling will certainly go into those properties as needed if invited by a tenant in cases of safety issues or other extreme issues. The process is really to put those pictures on a 311 site and at wheelingwv.gov/311 or download that GovPilot app and send those into code enforcement. We certainly do try to engage the landlords as part of that process because those are the people that are, obviously going to fix the issue. But, when there's a safety issue, our code enforcement department and legal department has assured us that they certainly will take action there as necessary. Mr. Herron, just if you or Mr. Lanham could give just updates on the AEP streetlight project. I know that's been coming to a head a little bit. I know you guys have made some progress with working with them on that. Then also the decorative lights and just the alley lighting between Main and Market Street between the plaza. Folks going to the Capitol Music Hall.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have had conversations with AEP last week, several. They have completed the overall audit of the island that was done last Monday. They have also, I don't know the results of that, but I do know that we did hear from them today that they do want to start changing out every light on the island from high pressure sodium to LED. The immediate repair that they're going to be doing, which they started last week, is there are 44 lights that are out on Zane and Virginia and the blocks in between. And as I mentioned to Mr. Sider last week, they had scheduled that to begin and do all repairs within I think a 1 or 2 week period. But they are, based on our conversation, they have begun repairing those now, and they'll get to, they'll repair them as they can. I do know that they started repair. They did repair one light that got called off for an emergency, so they have started that process. But just in that area alone, there are 44 lights that are going to be converted. I know that.
Topic, Mr. Herron,
Yeah.
before we move on to the next one, I do want to reiterate that Fulton is having some of the same issues there. So we need this effort has to happen in Fulton as well.
Okay.
In North Wheeling, there's a handful of them, but North Wheeling isn't as in bad shape. A lot of it's obviously down Main Street, but that effort has to happen in Fulton too. And I think that we should push them for some kind of credit back. I mean, we have 44 lights that are out in just a couple block radius. I mean, I know that moving to these new sodium lights are expensive in terms of tariffs. I think that we've been really complaining about this for years now. I think it's AEP is coming at us with a rate increase across the board while their profit margins skyrocket. I think it's time for them to feel a little bit of pain as well and offer the city a credit back on this.
Okay.
That's ridiculous.
We will explore what our options are there.
Thanks.
And then the decorative lights between the Stone Center, or between Market Street and Main Street, near Market Plaza next to the Stone Center, we do have a price to put lighting packs on the side of the building, similar to what we did on the front of the buildings. We are waiting for written approval from RED to do that. They will have plugs in them. We have the foot candle levels that they will illuminate the alleyway, for people who walk from the plaza to the Capitol Theater and back, parking structure, et cetera. The foot candle levels are very good. They will have plugs in the event that we're able to put the string lights across the road as well, but we will be illuminating that area. I do have a proposal that I'm ready to sign off on from Herb Electric. It's just getting permission from RED, which we anticipate receiving.
Okay, so this is overhead lighting as well as the foot candle.
That's correct.
portion of it.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, sir. That's all for me. Thank you.
Counselor Kane.
Just a couple things. East Wheeling Co-op had their first back-to-school basketball tournament at Tunnel Green 2 weeks ago, and also at East Wheeling Labor Day cookout. It is not only for East Wheeling residents, but it is for everyone. Anyone who would like to come. Hopefully next year it will be bigger than it was this year. They gave out book bags and school supplies. Also, Play School is starting to move. They're in there today, starting the asbestos removal. Simplified the paving group. I have received so many compliments as of yesterday regarding the paving that they've done. And they said to tell them thank you over and over again. And it's just not in my ward, but also GCP Road where REM housing is. They did the bridge and stuff over there, and people are so thankful for them and their process they've done. And also arts and cultural. They have money for different projects. They're asking that if you have a project that you need money from them, that you try to get your application in by October 31st. You can go into next year, but the fundings are weighing down, and sometimes it's too late for people to get funding. So the earlier, the better. And that'll be all today.
Thank you. Vice Mayor.
Nothing this evening, Mayor.
Counselor Thorngate.
Wish I had more, but just happy to be back. I know I haven't seen everybody for a couple weeks. The month of August was pretty busy for the Thorngate family, but happy to be back. Happy to see everybody, even my buddy here, the Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Also on September 7th, the Elm Grove Civics will be hosting an open house for their 100-year anniversary, and that's from 5 to 7 at 21 Sycamore Avenue for the Civics. Also, at the end of last meeting, Ms. Dibmar brought up about us sitting here telling what we did. What do we do? And I thought about that a lot, and I thought I was going to start making a list, and I started running out of paper for the last 2 weeks. So, I just want to reiterate, and I don't want to speak for others, but I will. is in between these meetings, we do a lot of things. We answer a lot of complaints. We answer a lot of emails. We direct complaints to the appropriate department heads. You know, I usually go out and look at the complaint before I send it to building and codes, or call the city manager. So there's a lot of those things that we do are behind the scenes. The same with the ordinances that we get. When we get first reading on it, gives us 2 weeks to research everything before we just come in and press the button. So I want to let you know that's all being done, but to sit here and read it all would take too much time. So thank you.
Thank you. We have reported committees. We do have Finance Committee minutes from August 19, 2025. Is there a motion to accept those?
That motion.
I'll second it.
Is there any discussion or comments? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? And those minutes are approved. And now we have the report of the city manager, Mr. Herron.
Thank you, Mayor. Speaking of Semper Fi paving, they have begun the CDBG portion of their contract. Excuse me. 6 out of the 8 alleys have been completed. We do anticipate that they should be able to complete their contract within the next few weeks. A little bit of an update on the Elm Run project. You'll recall that the city received an earmark through the U.S. Corps of Engineers for engineering of the Elm Run drainage area. That work is progressing to the point where we do have an overview map of the project area, and it will require some construction easements from the various property owners. So city staff, because ultimately even though this will be a federally funded project, it is a city of Wheeling project. So we have been approaching affected property owners to gauge their interest and kind of go over what the game plan is for a temporary construction easement, so that all that can be secured once the engineering is completed, and hopefully receive funding to do the Elm Run drainage improvement project. So I just want to let you know that we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. It is progressing, but we also are out in the neighborhood talking to residents about the project.
Can I ask you a question just to double
Yeah.
down on that? When, with ARPA funds, we had approved the enlarging the culvert that goes underneath Miller Street. How does that tie in with this? Are they going to be 2 separate things, or
Actually,
do them together?
the Elm Run project, or the Miller Avenue culvert project, will be included in the Elm Run project. So it does not have to be funded by ARPA funding. Now, we went through there and hired a contractor and dredged that out, and has made a significant difference there. But ultimately, that's covered under the Elm Run project, as are some of the backyard walls that were caved in as part of the storms this summer. Those are also being evaluated for repair as well. So yeah, it's a very comprehensive project, but it does focus on Elm Run itself and improving the drainage way as it is now. So, and then on September 16th, at Wheeling University in the Troy Theater, there will be the West Virginia Substance Use Response Plan Community Conversation. This is in cooperation with the West Virginia Department of Health and Human Services, as well as the Wheeling Police Department. Stephen Lloyd will be the moderator for this discussion. Again, it's September 16th from 4 to 6 p.m. at Wheeling University's Troy Theater. And it's a community conversation on the substance use response plan for the state of West Virginia. And then you recall the City Council approved a change order on the Valley View sanitary sewer project between Duquesne and Eureka. That project will begin on Monday, September 8th. There will be traffic disruptions in the area, and it will take about 3 weeks to complete. So that project will begin. That's if you recall, that's the project where we had some sanitary sewer infiltration into a storm sewer. We're going to be correct. That's my report.
Thank you. Do we have any questions, the city manager?
Yes, just to piggyback on Mr. Seiler, you said they were going to start replacing those high sodium bulbs with LEDs. Is that going to raise our costs, and what's the budgetary impact?
It is. What we are in discussions with AEP right now as to they're outlining an approximate number of lights they anticipate replacing each year. They're struggling to find parts for the high pressure sodium. So any lights that are out are going to be converted to LED. So we don't have a number yet on that. And then periodically, as lights go out, the high pressure sodiums are going to be converted as well. There is going to be a budget impact. We just found out today that they can't, that they don't want to fix the high pressure sodium. So we're going to be meeting with them in the next 2 weeks to get a budgetary impact on what that's going.
Thank you. Mr. Herron, are these new LED lights more expensive than the high pressure?
They are,
lights?
yes. Yeah, you would. So the tariff on the high pressure sodium lights is about not quite double what it, or I'm sorry, and the LED lights is not quite double at high pressure sodium.
But the electric usage has to be less than the other ones, correct?
It is, yes.
So can we work out a deal with them just to cover the difference in the cost of
The-
the light and
The
tell them to pound salt?
the tariff has been approved by the Public Service Commission and it's statewide. So it's not unique to Wheeling. Statewide for AEP. Moundsville's wrestling was the same problem. We've had conversations with Moundsville about this very topic. I will say that, in my opinion, the light that is emulated from these LED lights is cleaner, it's brighter, and provides a better spacing than the high pressure sodium. If you drive through the neighborhoods, you'll see they are spotted around here.
Can we appeal to the Public Service Commission since we're being forced into this changeover?
Especially since half of them.
Potentially, I'll check that. I don't know the answer to that question. We're being forced in that they're repairing the high pressure sodiums with LED because they're saying they can't find parts, or that they're not coming in and saying we're just going to do the whole city. But periodic or through time, this whole city is going to be done because they're going to go out. So
How much do we pay per light today for the high pressure sodium? Approximately.
approximately $6.50 a month. The LEDs are in the, I think, don't hold me to this, but they're $15, $17. They're much more expensive. But again, I'd have to look at the newest tariff on that. Potentially, yes. Yeah.
Any further questions of the city manager? Thank you, Mr. Herron. We do have in front of us planning commission meeting minutes from July 14th of 2025 and the GWSCA minutes from June 24 of 2025. Is there a motion to hold those over?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, and those minutes will be held over. Petitions of redress or grievance.
There are none.
Petitions of all other kinds.
There are none.
Original propositions.
An ordinance authorizing the payment in full of the Series 2025 notes if issued and the design, acquisition, construction, and equipping of certain additions, betterments, and improvements to the waterworks portion and the sewage portion of the existing combined waterworks and sewage system of the City of Wheeling, and the financing of the cost thereof, not otherwise provided through the issuance by the city of not more than $80 million in aggregate principal amount of combined waterworks and sewage system improvement revenue bonds series 2025B, tax exempt, providing for the rights and remedies of and the security for the registered owners of such bonds, authorizing the execution and delivery of a bond purchase agreement, a continuing disclosure agreement, tax certificate, tax compliance policy, continuing disclosure policy, and other documents relating to the bonds, and enacting other provisions with respect to such bonds. A resolution of the Council of the City of Wheeling approving invoices relating to the cleanup and remediation of 58 19th Street property located in the City of Wheeling, West Virginia, and authorizing payment thereof.
Make a motion to adopt the resolution.
Second,
Are there any questions or discussion? If not, I'd ask all of you to record your vote, please. That resolution's approved.
A resolution of the City of Wheeling, West Virginia, declaring its official intent to reimburse expenditures in connection with the planning, design, acquisition, construction, and equipping of additions, betterments, and improvements to the city's potable water treatment, storage, and distribution system and sanitary sewer collection and treatment system made prior to issuance of tax-exempt bonds, notes, or other obligations.
Move for adoption of the resolution.
Once again, do we have questions or any discussion? If not, please record your votes. That resolution's approved.
And that concludes original propositions.
Thank you. We're now to that point on the agenda where we ask those wishing to be heard. We do have Carly Dittmar. Again, Carly, you know the rules here. Please give us your name, address, and